Hello everyone, welcome to Tech Sharmit. In this session, we will discuss about another example for subquery, where we will use subquery in order to match the record uh, in where clause, but with more than one column. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to utilize the subquery uh, in where clause in order to match more than one column. Okay. So for this example, what we will do, firstly, we will understand the problem statement, okay, and then we will see the tables with their data, and after that we will see the query. So let's see all the things one by one. So here I'm writing strsql, and here we will simply write select star from, and my first table name is customers. So if I hit enter here, you can see there is some of the data is garbage. You can skip for now. Just focus on this data. So what we have here, we have order ID, customer name, and another column is for order status. So this is our first table. Now look at the second table. In second table we have orders, okay, and here we have this garbage value and this actual data. Okay, so in this data you will see that we have order ID and order status. Now what we are looking for, we want to fetch the details for shipped, for the data which is shipped with the status shipped. So for that it would be easy for you if I fetch the query and explain you the query first. So what we are doing here, we are writing, we are selecting the data customer ID, customer name, order status from customers table, where customer ID, order status in select, and this is the subquery. So if you look at these columns, we are matching two columns in where clause. First column is this and second column is this. So we are matching it with another two columns like customer ID and order status from orders table where order status is shipped. So this is the condition. But as we know, like whenever we are executing the subquery, it always execute the inner query first. So what it will do, it will firstly execute this part. So what is here, here we are selecting the customer ID, order status from orders table where order status is shipped. So firstly all the data would get selected whose order status is shipped, and then we are checking the same with outer query. So here we are checking select customer ID, customer name, and order status from customer table where customer ID and order status is matched with the output fetched from inner query. So if I hit enter here, you will see it is fetching all the record whose status is shipped. Okay, so whose order status is shipped. Fine. Now if we break down this entire query, then we have two portions. First is inner query and second one is outer query. So this portion is inner query. So it will only return the data like customer ID and order status. Then the same data would get compared with outer query, column customer ID and order status. We are using in operator. So once it is matched, in that case only we are printing the customer ID along with customer name and order status. Okay, so this is a scenario where we are utilizing the subquery in order to match the data in where clause where we have multiple columns. Fine. Now another question is how we can utilize the same inside sqlrpgle program. So for that what we need one sqlrpgle program. Okay, so here you can see we are firstly declaring the constant which is sql state underscore valid, and this constant we will use in order to verify the query whether it is executed properly or not. Then we are declaring data structure, and this is not an example for the same query. It is my old example. Okay, but I will just tell you what things you can change so that you can customize this example. So here you can see we are fetching customer ID, customer name, and order status. So accordingly you can put these detail inside data structure as a subfield as per the data type. So three subfields would be there. You can also go with parameters or variables, but I would recommend if you are fetching multiple column, then go with data structure, so that at the time of fetching the data, you just need to pass the data structure name as a host variable, not the all columns. Okay. After that, you can set the SQL option to commit star none, and then we are declaring the cursor. So at the time of cursor declaration, here you can put declare, then cursor name, type of cursor. If you want to go with scroll cursor, then it is fine for, and then here you can replace the actual query. So you can simply copy this query as it is here. Post that, we will just open the cursor. So you can put cursor name here, open this data, or whatever the data structure name you have used, you can put that, and then you can simply iterate inside one loop till the SQL state is equal to SQL state underscore valid, and fetch one by one all record. So this is the place where I was saying that if you are using multiple separate variable, then you need to pass separate host variable. But here we are using only data structure, so in that case you can simply pass the data structure name. Okay. After that, we are checking for the SQL state. If SQL state is equal to 2000, that means the file is completed and end of file reached. So you can simply print the message end of file and simply leave the loop. But in case of SQL state is not equal to SQL state underscore valid, it means error has been encountered. So you can print this message error encountered and simply leave the loop. Else you can display all the value which you have fetched. Like here we have fetched the customer ID, customer name, and order status. So you can simply print those value. Then simply undo and close the cursor by using exec SQL command, close cursor name and INR on. So this is the old example where we were using it in previous session, but I just explain you like how you can customize the same program for this particular query, because we have already discussed these SQL rpgle related things many times, right? So I'm not going to repeat those stuff, otherwise it would be a bit confusing for you, like why we are discussing every time the same program. So for time being, we are just focusing on this subquery. So as today we have covered the subquery portion, where we are using subquery in order to match the data with where clause condition, where we have more than two columns. Okay, so we are just checking those values. If it is matched, then it will fetch the result, else it will skip the data. So this is how we can utilize this subquery in order to fetch the data from table using subquery, but in where clause. Same thing, like same thing we can also use inside our sqlrpgle program. We just saw the process. For that, you just need to create one data structure, because we are going to receive the values as, so as a host variable we can pass the data structure name. And apart from this, you need a basic validation. So if you're not sure how we can use sqlrpgle validation and all, then maybe you can refer the previous session, because in previous session, like we have covered all these basic things, and all the sessions are in sequential manner. So I would suggest you to go and check out all the session from sequence, because that would help you, right? If you are directly going through this session, then maybe you have missed some of the points. So better to go and check out all the sequence of the sessions, and then it would be easier for you to understand the concepts. Okay, so like for now we are just focusing on this thing, like how we can utilize the subqueries. Okay, so yeah, that's all for this session. I hope it is clear to all of you. In the next session we will discuss few more things. So thank you for watching Tech Sharmit.